Hey everyone, it's Lee here from Hyper Prospecting. So today's video I'm going to be revealing my entire cold email workflow and basically tech setup. Okay, so get this question every now and then from people, so I figured might as well just make a video on it. Pretty straightforward stuff. So basically, as you can see here from this doc, there's three parts. So number one, sending infrastructure. Number two here, lead sourcing. And third, your email outreach sending. So let's just start off with number one, sending infrastructure. So pretty simple. This is basically, if you're going to be running cold email campaigns, you need to have a proper sending infrastructure set up from the get-go, where you're going to just always struggle with deliverability. It's just not going to work properly, basically. So domains, pretty simple. So I use Google Domains now. Previously, I used to use GoDaddy, but yeah, it's way easier using Google Domains. Okay, so pretty much just Google, literally type in Google Domains, create an account, or whatever, and start searching for domains that are related to your business or whatnot. Okay, so I'm not particularly fussy about which domain endings. Typically, they really vary, whether it's a .com, .biz. In my opinion, it doesn't really matter all that much. The reason why it doesn't matter is because you're going to set up a forwarding redirect to your main website anyway, which I'll get onto soon. But yeah, just pick a few different domains, okay, that have your company name in it, so they're similar to at least your main primary domain. Authentication. So this is actually one of the reasons why I use Google Domains now, because it automatically does DKIM, okay, and authenticates that for you. When I was using GoDaddy, you had to do all that yourself. So it's just like one small thing you don't have to worry about when you use Google Domains. So that's basically one of the reasons why I use it. So if you use Google Domains, that's taken care of by default. DKIM, don't even have to worry about it. Same with SPF and MX records. That was a similar thing with GoDaddy. Some domains you had to actually manually add those in. It was a massive pain. Google Domains, it's all done for you. The only manual thing with Google Domains is to mark records, adding those in. It's really simple. You literally just you just type in Google, adding to mark records. And there's as you can see, I've been on here many times. Add your DMARC record. So it's very straightforward once it loads. So all you're going to do is create a new domain record in your DNS. So basically in your, Google Domains, you'll see on the left-hand side, there's like a DNS thing. So you just click that. You literally just follow these instructions, like as it's written here. Copy and paste that as the record, obviously changing this domain name to whatever the domain is you're setting up. That's pretty much it. So really simple to do. So that's DMARC taken care of. Email accounts. So yeah, obviously if you're setting it up with Google Domains, you're going to use Gmail or Google Workspace. Used to be called G Suite. So now it's just Gmail. I just use the starter plan as well. I don't think you need the standard or I can't remember, I think it's the enterprise one, which is the level up from that. Just use the starter plan. It's like $6 something a month or something like that. So it's pretty simple. Get that set up. Domain forwarding. So this is also why it doesn't really matter what your domain ending is, in my opinion. I know some people I've seen claim that it affects deliverability. At least in my experience, I can't say I've noticed that a domain ending impacts deliverability significantly, let's put it that way. But yeah, you definitely want to set up like a redirect. So very simple to do. So you can just literally Google it, how to set up domain redirects in Google Domains, but yeah, it's not difficult. So you just set up a redirect for every cold email domain, so whatever it is, you're going to set up a redirect to your main website or your VSL landing page, or whatever you kind of want to direct traffic to. Warming up instantly is what I use now. I used to use a lot of third-party tools like that were different to the actual email sending tool I use now. I just use Instantly for everything. So this is basically how I set it up. So 20 emails a day, increased by 2 per day, 30% reply rate. Use custom domain or custom tracking domain or domain tracking. Just follow the prompts in Instantly to do this. All this stuff is honestly not difficult to do. Literally just follow the prompts in Instantly, and you can add a custom tracking domain into your DNS of Google domains. Okay, so you're basically adding the mark and then this custom tracking domain if you're using Instantly. If you're not using Instantly, you may not need to add a custom tracking domain, although I would recommend it because that does help with deliverability. And for brand new domains, definitely 14 days. You want to warm them up, like just leave it on that schedule. What I have found though is that with domains that are relatively old, so 6-12 months old, whatever, if you create a new email account, I will basically just warm them up for like 7 days and then start sending with them. But for a brand new domain and email accounts, yeah, definitely 14 days is the way you want to go. So that's pretty straightforward stuff, honestly. I mean, I've also got other videos and content on this particular stage here. Okay, fairly straightforward though. Lead sourcing, all important this is. So obviously you need to be able to get accurate, verified, good quality data for your campaigns. Now there's a lot of different ways you can do this. I've experimented with a lot of different tools, scraping methods, databases, you name it. Most of the time now, I personally use Apollo. I do a little bit use Lime Leads still, which is just US only data. I just think Apollo is a bit better than Lime Leads personally. But others that I've got here listed that I've kind of tried out at different periods in time, you can see on the screen here, like Uplead, Lead Fuse, Usher, Get Prospect. By all means, that's not the list. There's probably like hundreds, I don't know, of different databases you could use. There's so many. These are just my personal kind of preferences and things that I've got personal experience using, okay? Directories, things like that. So directories, I mean things like Yellow Pages, and if you're in the UK, something like Yelp. Yeah, like different stuff like that. If you're in the US, you've got like directories that are specifically for like kitchen and bathroom remodeling contractors, which you can scrape companies from. So that's what I mean by directories. So that's another way to do it. Obviously, you'd scrape like the lists of companies and their website domains and things like that, and then aim to get the decision makers at those companies. And last here I've got listed is Sales Navigator. So back when I first started doing cold email, this was the basically bread and butter for me in terms of lead sourcing. Now I wouldn't say I've gone off it, but I just don't rely on it as much. I think it's still useful to use. Basically, there's various Chrome extensions and like Scrap, Weezer. I think even Apollo does it as well, where you can actually like scrape contact details from Sales Navigator searches. What's another software? Lead Hype is a good one for that as well. So there's definitely an option to consider. My opinion is what you need to do is just try out a few and see what kind of suits your needs and things like, because some businesses you're going to have different needs. Like if you're targeting kitchen remodelers, there's going to be directories like for finding kitchen remodelers you can leverage, and you could also use that in conjunction with a database. So just you really need to kind of work out what your needs are and things like that. Email verification, so you always want to double verify. So I use Never Bounce, really straightforward, really like very affordable pricing. I've always found it to be pretty good quality personally. So that's basically it for that. Number 3 here, email outreach sending. So I now use Instantly. I've been using Instantly for, at the time of recording this, maybe a year, maybe a little bit longer than a year. I've tried a lot of different tools in that period, and even before that, like Wavo, Mailshake, Woodpecker. God, what else? I think there's a couple others I just can't remember off the top of my head. I've also tried. But yeah, Instantly is the one I've been using for, the last year or so now. It's pretty reliable. Sometimes it gets a bit buggy like every software, but overall, it's a pretty good tool. I really like how they're always looking to innovate and add new features on, just to improve user experience and obviously improve the results you get as well. So it's really highly recommended. CRM, you need a CRM. Okay, you don't want to be tracking leads and stuff like that in spreadsheets. So that's really what HubSpot's for. I use the HubSpot Sales free version. I basically, when I get a lead, I just add it in like a new deal, company name, contact name, details about correspondence and follow-up, stuff like that. So pretty straightforward. You don't have to use HubSpot. You can use Pipedrive. You can use something else. Pretty much use whatever you want, but I just use the free HubSpot Sales version. So that's basically it. Very straightforward setup. There's really just 3 parts to it: sending infrastructure, lead sourcing, and then email outreach sending. In terms of a workflow and tech setup, for actual sending cold email, that's really all you need. That's what I've got experience and what does the job for me. So that's pretty much it. If you got any questions about any of this, let me know. Drop a comment, reach out, and I'll get back to you. Otherwise, that's basically it. Appreciate you watching the video, and yeah, stay tuned for the next one. Bye.